Hi there, this is Ed from ScoreFlipper.com, and today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and make a ScoreFlipper file. So today's work that we're going to try to post is Weeping Willow Rag by Scott Joplin, arranged by Bruce Levine. So I've gone ahead and engraved this piece in Sibelius. I've made a PDF file of it, and I also have an MP3. So I basically have everything that I need to begin to create the ScoreFlipper file. So you see here I have my PDF open. I also have ScoreFlipper Creator open. This happens to be version 1.45. You may have a different version depending on when you view this video. So first thing I need to do is create a new record. So I click on New within my ScoreFlipper work screen. I'm going to go ahead and type in the name that I want to appear for the piece, which is Weeping Willow Rag. I've already set up a product for this on our shopping cart software. You would need to go ahead and do the same. The ID of this product is 608. We're going to sell this both as a hard copy and as a soft copy. There's no category, just the product. Looks like my paper size is okay. It's letter, portrait. I do want to do it at 75%. The total number of pages here I'm looking on my PDF is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and click 5. My MP3 file name, typically we name these the same as the ID of the piece, which is 608. I need to pull up the MP3 now to see how long this piece actually is. Use Windows Media Player for this. It's only 3 minutes and 13 seconds. So I'm going to go type 3:13 into the MP3 length. I do want a single watermark. I'll take the default watermark darkness of 15. Okay, so I've just done step 1. It says here, fill in or adjust all the yellow fields above. Done that. Actually, some are green as well. So I click Run First. This is going to go ahead and build the rows that I need. So this will build the rows assuming that there's no repeats in the piece. But you can see here, actually I have repeats at A. There's the first and second ending. More endings. So this is one of your more complicated pieces. It's going to kind of flip back and forth. So I'm going to have to insert a couple of rows here into my table of pages. So it starts on page 1. That's fine. I have the first row here shows page 1. Then it goes to page 2 and 3. Those are going to show together. But because of this repeat, it's actually going to go back to page number 1. So I'm going to have to add a row in after this first instance of 2, 3. I'm going to go back to 1 again. So I'm going to insert a new page turn, and you can see here to enter the row number. So I want this to be the new row number 2. So you can see it's going to put a blank in there for me, and I'm going to type in the number 1. This tells me we're going back to page 1 after we hit 2, 3. So this goes back to 1, and then it's going to go back again to page 2, 3. So I have to go ahead and enter another page turn in here, and this is going to be my new row number 3. Okay, so now we're going to go back to page 2 and 3. So now we look ahead here. Okay, I have a repeat on page 3, but that goes back to page 2, so I don't have to insert a new row for that one. And then we go to page 4. That repeats within the page, no problem. And then page 5 is actually the last page of the piece. So you can see here the page turns. It starts on 1, it goes to 2, 3, goes back to 1, goes back to 2, 3, and then it ends on 4, 5. Now you see ScoreFlipper was smart enough to put in the last time, so that's when the piece actually ends, and that's driven off my MP3 length. So now I have to figure out what the page turn times are. There's a couple of ways to do this. We're going to go ahead and actually listen to the piece and flip the pages as we go. So this is kind of fun. So what I do here is I'm going to rewind my MP3 all the way to the top, and we're going to go ahead and click start and on the stopwatch. Now this thing goes pretty fast. The first page turn happens. Okay, now we're at A. Okay, I'm going to click my stopwatch there to make that page turn. So I'm just watching along with the music. And once it gets near that first setting, I'm going to do it again. Okay, see, every time I click on this one's a fast one. So that's going to go ahead and put the time in where it needs to turn. Now, if these turn times don't wind up being correct, I can always do a little bit of adjustment after. So we just go ahead and listen. And when the page turns here, I'm just going to look ahead. Okay, almost getting ready for this next page turn. Actually, now we're pretty much done. The next page turn is going to happen after all these repeats. You can see I have all of my page turn times are all filled in. So I can actually stop my MP3 player now. Okay, now if you look at the steps here, it says start your MP3, insert the time. We've done all that. So now I can click the run second button. This is actually generating some information that I needed for my XML file. So look, it says here, congratulations, your ScoreFlipper XML file has been created. It is now stored in the same folder that contains the ScoreFlipper Creator program. So I have a shortcut on my desktop to actually where this ScoreFlipper Creator program is. And I'm going to go ahead and double click on that. And lo and behold, there's my ScoreFlipper XML. It is set to today's date, the 20th of July 2010. And I need to go ahead and copy this file because I'm going to put it where I need it, which is in my Weeping Willow folder. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this thing right in here.